This is the Fisher dolly,
one of the most common camera dollies used in professional filmmaking.
It's built to carry the camera, the operator, and sometimes even the first AC. Its job to give you smooth, controlled camera movement for both in and out and up or down. Whether you are a student, a beginner, a grip, a filmmaker, a cinematographer, a director, doesn't matter. You need to know how to use the right tools for the correct shot or stories you want to tell. So today we're breaking down what high-end cinema uses to do push-in, push-outs, boom up and boom downs. This is a dolly, but we are going to start from the start. Hey, Future Cafe here. Just wanted to say this is not an official dolly guide. This is just my workflow as a grip and how do I work with dollies. So do these actions at your own risk. Back to the video. So the dolly has mainly two components which you're going to be working with, which is the base with the wheels to actually move this thing around, and the hydraulic arm which raises the camera. The basic operation works with two people usually, one staying at the back controlling the arm and the movement, which is the grip, and the operator which sits on the dolly or stands or whatever he's comfortable with, actually operating the camera. So as a grip, you're gonna want to know how to actually move this thing around. So this is the brake lever. Right now it's unlocked. You see I can move this around. This is your handle right here to actually move the wheels in any direction. You can go to 60, you can do whatever. The dolly has typically 3 steering modes, which is this, which is the rear or conventional, which you can see only moves the 2 wheels at the back. Meanwhile, the ones at the front stay locked. To change gear, you should straighten your handle and use this lever. And now I'm into round. You see both wheels are moving, but in a different directions. This is very useful, especially in tight spaces or when the floor is really flat. You can even do curves without tracks. And it goes pretty natural. The other steering mode is the crab mode. And right now, all the wheels are turning in the same direction. So this lets you move the dolly without actually turning the base. And this can come pretty handy, especially when you want to see different shots or try different movements really quick. It really depends on the situation. You're gonna want to use crab in different situations, use round in different ones, and use rear conventional when moving the dolly around or whatever. Just find what works best for your situation, and this is gonna do it for you. So one thing you're gonna want to do when it just arrives on set, it usually comes like this. You see the wheels are in between this line. You're gonna want to switch to crab and actually turn the handle of 180. This gives you the exact measurements you need for the tracks, but we'll see this later on. Just know that this is usually the standard operation with wheels on the outside. And now for our second part, the actual hydraulic arm to move the camera. For this, we're gonna need to check that it has pressure on the dolly. So we're gonna need to charge this up. You can just do that by plugging this thing right here, get a stinger with power or something, and it has a switch right here on the back, and you can turn this on and it will start sucking the air up. You're gonna know when the actual dolly will be fully charged because you'll hear the switch turn off on its own, and give it some encouragement words. Go, go little dolly, go, so it charges faster. Heard that? Now it is fully charged. You see, we can actually move the arm up and down with no problem at all. So you're gonna notice that what makes dollies really useful is that when they go up, this goes straight in a vertical line. It doesn't go like this, it doesn't banana, it just goes up and down on its own line. One solution, if you don't have power with you on set, you can actually get this right here. You will see it has a hole. Just stick it into this pin and go push and pull, push and pull. This will take a lot of time, so just know that when there is the cable and you have power, use the cable. But you should know that you can do this also in emergency situations, or I don't know, if you're in the middle of the desert, this can save you. To move the arm up and down, you have this knob right here. You see it already tells you what to go up and down. So turn this way to go up and hold it like this. If you let go, the arm will stop. And this will go back to its own position. So you just hold it and it goes up, and go the other way, so down, to let it go down. And the more you turn, the faster it will go. It's pretty easy, but to make really controlled movements or slow movements, it's just a matter of practice and how much you actually use it on set to get better and doing actual movements with the arm. Now you can see this also has a lock right here. To actually lock it, you just have to push and twist it. This way, this will lock down and the arm doesn't move anymore. To actually restore it, you see there's this little pin right here. Just push it and let it go under this little guide right here. You can see you can move the arm again. Now this is all very beautiful, but you're gonna need accessories to actually make this work. Otherwise you can put the camera, you can put the operator, you can do nothing with it. So usually this dolly comes with its own accessories cart. You see, I know it's pretty intimidating. There is a lot of stuff here. We're gonna just cover what the main ones are and what they can do. Starting off with platforms, these are pretty self-explanatory. Just stick them in these holes and you're good to go. You can stand on them, no worries at all. They can hold, I'd say, pretty fat people. There's any kinds, longer, shorter ones, the ones that go on the side, on low, for example. The only a little bit tricky one is this one. We call this in Italian the elephant ear. I don't know how it is called in other languages, but this basically serves as a low platform. And you want to stick this right here and gently go into this pin right here. There you go. So now you have a low platform. The other pretty self-explanatory thing is seats. You just fit them in the holes, whatever hole you want, this one or that one. Doesn't really matter as much as you're comfortable with it. So just fit it in, and you see you have this little ring right here. Just pull this to go lower, and just pull this once again to go up. It's pretty easy, come on. They usually come as a pair, one for the operator or DP and one for the first AC, but usually we just use one, as nowadays, you know, the first AC just goes like this on its own stand. So this is the fisher head. This is where we're gonna put all of our accessories. Just look at these teeth, okay? Everything needs to be aligned with this, and these holes right there that are threaded to actually fit your screw in. Now, we're gonna put on firstly the standard mode, high mode, normal mode, whatever you wanna call it. I've heard it be called in many names. What you need to know is that this piece goes right here, and it has a standard Mitchell mount here. So you can put on the camera head, actually. Make sure that you can align this here, okay? Just make this aligned, and you can fit this right here. But otherwise, you can also go on the other side and keep it like this. I like to do this more because you see, give me a second there. Screw this in, and you'll see this is closer to the body of the dolly. So I like to do this more. And to also tighten it up a little more, just get this Allen key. You're gonna find it at the base of the dolly. Do a little turn, you're done. So let's get our standard Mitchell mount fluid head. So just stick your head here, rotate until you find this spot. Stick this right underneath. Screw this in. It's a little bit hard, you know, you have to fit your hand through this, so you make sure you have small hands. As you know, this is where the actual camera is gonna go on a standard set. And this part also is a leveling head. To level this down, you see it has these 4 knobs right here, okay? Just operate 2 at a time, one this way and one this way. Comes down naturally, just play with this until the head is in level. And it will stay like that. There are many more accessories you can use with this. For example, these are risers, okay? It's pretty easy. They also have a standard Mitchell mount. Just go here. This spot right here has to go in. Screw it. Boom down, because then you want to work always comfortable. Fit the head here. There we go. Screw this in and you're done. You can even level the head the same way with these knobs, even if it's high up. No worries at all. And what this does, you will see you will start at a higher position, but you can go even further up than just with the high mode. By the way, as you can see, these are two risers, okay? So you can actually just use this one or just use this one as you want. Always put back your accessories in the cart, otherwise you're gonna lose them. Another very, very useful accessory, the rotating offset. This is gonna be very, very convenient. Just once again, screw it in, find the pin, there we go. So this is an offset, okay? It off-centers the camera from the natural point where it was before. So this is a rotating one. So what you can do is this, okay? This becomes pretty handy, especially with the head on. You can see where I'm going, okay? It allows you to rotate the camera and find the best position you can very easily. And you can lock this. Right here, it's locked, okay? Doesn't move anywhere. Unlock this, moves again. It's pretty easy. It's very useful, especially when you want to find the right position quickly. A lot of people just keep this on all the time because it's easier, you know, to shift one way or the other with this thing. Another accessory you can use, which does basically the same thing, is this. It's an offset, but it's not a rotating one. It's a fixed offset. As you will notice, this doesn't have any pin. Screw it in, and once you feel like it's locking, just push this way, and you will see this will lock. And you can also fit the head here, or upside down, or whatever. Just know that these are both way Mitchell. Up here, down here. And this comes in this size or this size. But it's basically the same. It's just longer. To unscrew this, there we go. Now, this is all very beautiful, but there is one more thing. You want to go really low to the ground. This only reaches this position, okay? And with the head, the camera, you're gonna be about here, okay? You'll need to change your accessory. What a surprise, huh? There we go. This is the low mode. You're gonna need the Allen key, which sits there, to actually mount this. And it works pretty much the same way. You see this pin right here and this thread. Align them like this to your head of the dolly and just screw it in. You'll see these are perfectly aligned with each other. Now you can fit your head here, and to actually go and level this down, it has these two pins right here to go this way. Notice how the head is moving. Or these two right here. So these allow you to move in the other horizontal way. So once everything is looking good, you're good to go. You can see this goes pretty low. Just make sure when going low that you don't hit anything with the head or with or with this thing. I don't know how it's called in English, but this will completely destroy it. You know, it's hydraulic, it's really strong. Be careful. Now, after this, I'm gonna switch to eye mode real quick because it's comfortable for me. Keep in mind that there are many more accessories, as you can see. You can fit even a whole crane on this base. It's pretty crazy. And yeah, it's a dolly, so it also goes on tracks. Do we really have to do that? Okay, so we're gonna move on with the tracks right now. I'm gonna grab just 4 meters, just so you can have a feeling on how they look like and how you can work with them effectively. To level them down, you're gonna need wedges, a level, and these things, I don't know how they're called in English, but these things. Personally, what I like to do, since every key grip has its own ways and techniques to level them down, I like to just tighten up right away. You'll see these are closed down, but you will see, you hear this? the track isn't level down. First, find the highest point of the track, okay? You're gonna look for these angles, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And it seems to be this one right here, based on how the level looks. In this case, you see there's a little gap here, so I'm just gonna put this wedge right here, just as a support, but usually you don't need it, you can just lay it on the ground. So once this is leveled, go directly to this line, and you're gonna need to take that point higher out. There we go. So when doing this, it's actually always better to have one person standing here so the whole track doesn't shift, doesn't move, doesn't wiggle, doesn't do anything. But right now, unless the cameraman wants to help me, okay, we're gonna do this alone. Okay, so now also this point is leveled. So now this whole track is leveled down. You're gonna need support for these points that are higher from the ground, fill the gaps. And wedges actually have a way, you know, you can't just put them in whatever direction. You see this 90-degree angle, like this on the wedge? You can't put the wedge like this, okay? Because if you put them down like this, when you're going on and off and on and off with the dolly, this will slip, okay, will slip out. So always put them like this with a 90-degree angle under the track. Now that we have this whole track leveled, you see there is no bumps, it doesn't move in any direction, it doesn't wobble. We're gonna level this now. This part is already leveled, so we'll go ahead and do this line right here, which fortunately seems to be already leveled on its own. So we're gonna just put a little one here just to fill the gap. Now we're gonna move this part a little bit up. There we go. Now also this track is leveled. I'm gonna fill the gaps just like we did for the other one. So now wherever you go with your level should be leveled at any given point. So that's done, like this. This is how I do it. Remember, there are many different ways. Everybody finds its own. This is my favorite. What I like to do is get 2 clamps. I'll leave one here because we're gonna need to roll on with the dolly first, but I'm gonna put this one already right here, and this will stop the dolly from falling out. To put this on tracks, it's not that difficult, but it's not even that easy. There are more ways than you think. If, and only if, you have square tracks, you can actually go already on the track with these wheels right here, and then you pull this down and you're good to go. But tracks like that one aren't really that much common, or at least here in Italy, I've never seen those tracks and never seen anyone use them. So we're gonna do it the other way. You can either put on these wheels, which you see can go on the track instead of those, or you can use these, which are skater wheels. Voila. As you can see, you have many more wheels right here. They're really smooth. If I have to choose, I always choose the skater wheels, but they take a little bit more of effort to actually put the dolly on this. You see those wheels? They're gonna need to come here. What you actually need is these 2 accessories right here. You will recognize them because they have a kind of a weird shape. And this goes like this. And this actually lets you lift the dolly more easily. Since I'm doing this alone, because the camera guy doesn't want to help me, I'm gonna move this closer. Oh, there we go. Now, you don't need those anymore. Get these 2. You have 2 holes right here. You can stick this in. I put this directly on tracks, pull the brake so it doesn't move. Get the second pair, here we go. I'll pull the clamp right now so anything can't slip off, you know. And there we go. You have a dolly on tracks. I promise you that with more people it's much easier. And I never suggest to anyone to do it alone. Especially your first time. Never. Okay? Once the dolly is on tracks, remember that you have these 2 points. So your dolly actually can't fall off. Remember, little disclaimer, that when you move this thing, it's heavy, okay? So yeah, you can move it, but you have to stop it. Especially when you're moving fast, it's not that light. It can get pretty heavy with momentum, so just study physics. Another side note, when you're putting the dolly on tracks, remember to take off the camera, or at least that's what I've been taught to do. I don't know if everybody does it like that, but it's just a safety matter. Now that you're on tracks, the movements that are more common are obviously push-ins, which is going in with the camera, pushing out, going out with the camera. You can even combine both movements at once, okay? Now, this is a matter of practice, and the more you try it out, the more you use it, the more you get your hands on it, especially on set, the better skills you will have at using this. With the arm, you want to always move and not cut like this, because you will see the sudden stop in camera. You always want to smoothen things out. You see, it slows down and goes like this. I promise you it gets easier with time, okay? It's not something you're gonna do the first time you're on set. You're gonna be like, oh, now I have the Fisher dolly. No, it's not gonna happen. So just keep in mind that there are a lot more tips and tricks with this dolly. For example, you can fold this down for transport. There is much more you can do, and you should always get an experienced grip, an experienced person that actually knows dolly when you're working with this. Never do this alone, especially if it's your first time. Hire a grip. It's worth it. I promise you it is. For example, come here. There is this little control box, which basically these two are 2 valves, and you can play with the arm by turning this one way or another and actually program it, or you know, do some kind of different movements with it. But it's something that it takes a lot of skill, especially to learn. It's not that easy. So as I said, once again, hire a grip, hire someone that knows dolly. I promise you it's worth it. Just know that you're going to work with different types of dolly, and they work pretty much the same, okay? They're different, but you're going to see in a minute. Ah, did it work? Oh, I've always been wanting to do this, gotta be honest. As I was saying, you're going to work with many different types of dolly. This is a Fisher 10. It's the big brother of the Fisher 11. As you can see, it has a much bigger arm. You can even fit the operator on the arm. It's pretty crazy, yeah. One thing you want to check is the payload on the arm. This is very important. For example, the one on this one is 90 kilos. This, if I remember correctly, it's about 200 or something like that. And this is an electric dolly. And if it's electric, usually there is one way to program it. Just learn and study the manufacturer's manual to do that. But know that every dolly feels pretty much the same. They have different steering modes. They have an arm, a column, or something that goes up and down. And this was the dolly in action. It's one of the simplest yet more powerful tools on set to make your shots cinematic. Okay, I can do this. It doesn't make your shots cinematics. You are the only one who can do that. But this is a very powerful tool that, if used right, can help you achieve what your storytelling, what your shots will need to be. If you like this video, like it. And if you found this helpful in any way, consider subscribing. Makes a huge difference for me. See ya.